have stated numerous times in recent months that it just feels like this is the noisiest economic environment and market environment that I've ever experienced. So much noise in the data and the analysis and reporting. I'm not alone. I think there are some efforts now to reduce the amount of noise and get more signal with greater clarity. But as always, the question is, will it work? Hello again. Thank you for joining me for this edition of Numbers Matter Shorts. And there's always noise. We can't get data on an economy or a market that's this vast, this dynamic as the U.S. economy, and not expect some noise. There's going to be some variation due to seasonality, geopolitical events, consumer tastes, that kind of thing. And so there's always going to be noise, and capturing any one data set precisely is an impossible goal. And the algorithms they use may be outdated. The computer models they're using may be outdated. So maybe they're adding in additional noise unintentionally because they're using outmoded or outdated techniques for analysis, as well as all the difficulty that comes from just gathering and reporting. So there's always going to be noise. And then this other type of noise from all of the streaming and broadcast pundits and opinions and politicians and policymakers who may have ulterior motives. Maybe they're trying to get elected. Maybe they're trying to sell you something, maybe both. And they put a spin on the information that's coming out, knowing full well they're not presenting it in the proper context or in full light of day or full disclosure. So there's all these types of noise. And I think that the new Federal Reserve Chair, Kevin Warsh, is also dealing with this. That has to be one of the noisiest positions in America right now. He hears it from all sides all the time, business leaders, policymakers, consumers. So he's implemented some ideas. He's brand new on the job, but some ideas that might reduce some of the noise. And one of the things he is promoting is the use of this trimmed mean PCE index for prices. And so here's a chart of what that looks like over the past 5 years or so. And as you can see, it goes up and it goes down, but it's pretty smooth. And it uses a trend average. I won't go into great detail about how it's calculated. You can look that up yourself. That's not hard to find on the internet. But what you see is that during the last bout of high inflation, it didn't get up, this trend mean didn't get up as high as the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, or the non-trend mean PCE. That was up around 8 or 9% for those two measures. But this only got up to maybe 5% at the worst. And since then, it's been coming down. And I like Consumer Price Index, which is currently in the 3 to 4% range, depending on how you adjust it and manipulate it. This is down still in the low twos. So what does that mean? That means that inflation is not as bad, at least Kevin Warsh wants us to think this, is not as bad as the other price indicators would lead you to believe. And so is this the right way to measure this for long-term policy decisions? I don't know. Only time will tell. This obviously misses some things that consumers are struggling with right now, like high gasoline prices. This trim mean won't include that. And you can't tell me that isn't important. On the other hand, that's the kind of stuff that doesn't last long usually. And so maybe we shouldn't think about it too long for longer term, broader range policy decisions. That's the argument and debate that we're having right now, at least some people are having it. And I appreciate this debate. I encourage honest opinions and honest interpretations, and they can vary as long as they're honest and being made in good faith. Like I say, it's somebody just trying to get elected or somebody just selling you something and they will tell you anything to accomplish that task. I'm not interested. But if the goal is to get it right, to do what's best for the U.S. economy, U.S. citizens, consumers, businesses, let's let the debate go on. And that's where we are right now. So the trimmed mean, is that going to be the right tool, the right indicator to use? Time will tell. But let's give it a chance. Some other areas where I noticed they're trying to cut back on noise. There's an idea that we need fewer quarterly reports from publicly traded companies, that maybe they only need to report every 6 months or every year. As privately held companies seem to be getting a lot of interest in a lot of investment, and they don't report at all. So, okay, less noise, not once a quarter, maybe twice a year, maybe once a year. That would take some noise out. Is that good or bad? Might be good for management to not have to listen to that and account for noise every single 3 months. Might be bad because then we miss out on something. Somebody may be up to no good. So that's another area. Where else am I seeing these efforts to cut down on noise? The indexing of the markets. You've heard of the S&P 500 index, the NASDAQ 100 index, and now all of a sudden, companies like SpaceX and ChatGPT and these other AI companies are coming in, threatening to really upset the way that the indexes are calculated. And so, do we leave them out so that noise it doesn't affect the index? Do we have to put them in? They're so big. That's what everybody wants to be a part of, and so they're important to have them in there. Another debate that's raging. And so finally, I just want to say this: artificial intelligence, noisy, less noise, signal, non-signal. How about both? I think that artificial intelligence represents a huge opportunity to sift through vast amounts of data and winnow out the signals from the noise in areas like medical research, cure for cancer, cure for a lot of diseases, genetic research, atmospheric data, pharmaceutical research. Great boom to get rid of a lot of noise quickly and get right down to the main signals. And I think AI has promised to do that. On the other hand, how much AI slop do I have to look at? Deep fakes, false videos, false voices. That's noise. That's noise I don't want to hear. Fake news, fake reports. The stuff that you can do with AI if you have the intention to deceive or to create noise or to muddy up the water. That's enormous as well. So the debate is on. It's raging. Here's a prediction. It's only going to get noisier out there. So what do we do? Put our hands over our ears, bury our heads in the sand. We just keep learning, keep trying to get smarter. That's what I'm doing. Come to you and talk to you about it. Listen to your feedback every single month. And I don't know that we're ever going to be smart enough. No, I do know that. We never will be smart enough, but we can't quit trying. So tune in again. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.